Welcome to Edge of a Nation. On this episode of Edge of a Nation, we're here in the Tucson Sector, focusing on the Ajo area of operations. The Ajo area of operations is known to have massive influx of illegal immigrations, individuals that give up. Essentially, they walk directly to a border patrol agent and claiming asylum. Sometimes we have them up to 300 per night. Another challenge that they have in this area of operations is a bailout. A bailout is when an agent decides to investigate a vehicle that might be in an area that is known for smuggling. They go to either pull the individual over or pull up beside it to run the plates, and the individuals in that vehicle run away. A bailout is dangerous because the individuals in that vehicle are trying to escape detection. These are not give-ups. These are not individuals seeking asylum. These are individuals who are trying not to be detected coming into this country. And when they escape the vehicle, they can go into the neighborhood, and that itself can be its own danger. That happens often here in recent history. It's happened once a night in the past week. So we're here to show you what's going on in the area of Operation of Ajo, but also deep in the areas that are closer to the border fence that can be 2 hours from the station. There's camps located out here. The one we're gonna go focus on is called Boundary. It's about 2 hours from this location, and we'll show you what it's like for agents who are stationed in that area and how they work the traffic. So, individuals behind us were apprehended. These groups were give-ups, and so essentially they walked across the border, where they found a point in the border wall that was cut, usually by the smuggling organization, to let them in, and they walked right up to the border patrol agent, and they're claiming asylum. So, this Sally Port should sometimes have this many, or it could be completely full. Just depends on the night. The traffic changes all the time, and we're going to go into and show you some of the processing portion. Come on. So this is the holding facility. There's a certain amount of rooms here. How they house them all depends on age. They could be unaccompanied minors. They'll have their own space. Women will have their own space, so on and so forth. These computers are here to process. This is where they get their information, roll fingerprints, identify whether they have past criminal history or not, and what they're claiming, whether it's asylum, whatever the case. Border Patrol will process the paperwork, put them into holding until ICE comes and picks them up. So I was in the camera room when this was happening. The agent identified a vehicle that looked suspicious, filled with people in this area, and also going in a direction of travel that's not common with the direction of travel of someone who's either leaving or going. The agent went to pull them over, and they bailed out. So a bailout essentially is the people in the vehicle, everyone just tries to start running. And so the agent identified 6 on the go. They were able to app 2. They just apprehended another one in the bushes here behind us, and there's still 3 outstanding. And so we're going to continue to support them and just stay out of their way while they do their job. But any agents local to the area responded to this area, and there's certain lines of travel that they would potentially walk, and so that's where they're going right now. So they're going to go cut some sign and look for traffic and try and find the 3 outstanding. check this out. Something common when someone who's known for transporting will have the Santa Muerte, and the Santa Muerte is the saint of safe travel or safe passage, is what they say. And so it's not uncommon for them to either wear a medallion or something like this in their vehicle to bless the travel, as well as the individuals. Every single one of them so far that's been apprehended had some kind of knife on them. And so that's something that the agents already have told their partners to be on the lookout for. Appreciate it, brother. Yep.
Throw another vehicle down to my other phone.
Alright, yeah, you're good, bro. Let's see what she did there.
So we still currently have 3 that are unapprehended. Currently, they got ATVs working. We have dogs as well. And then they're going to put a camera truck up. And the camera truck essentially runs with a FLIR camera. It's going to be able to find any kind of body heat in this terrain. Pretty challenging too, because right now I think the temperature is somewhere close to 90. So we're going to go check that out so you guys can see other capabilities and how they work here in the Ajo sector. This would be cool if we're able to spot someone. These dudes are in here. We are currently heading uphill to try and get to a higher point for the MSC vehicle to be able to hopefully pick up the sign or the body signature of the 3 that are still outstanding from the bailout. Bear with us. Let's go check it out. What's going on, sir?
What's up, dude? How you doing?
Good, man. We're hoping you got some. So, this is the vehicle here. You might not be able to see, but there is a FLIR camera about 25 feet up. And what happens is, you know, as Border Patrol agents or the Border Patrol agents will find locations that have good visual advantage. And currently, like I said, we have 3 outstanding, and so he's scanning the area looking for body signatures or heat signatures that are you know, that look like they're not supposed to be there. And most likely, if we're right, then it'll be some of the outstanding bodies that we're looking for. So we have this agent on this side of the hill working on the MSC truck, and then on the other side there's an agent setting up with a Recon 4, which is able to identify heat patterns as well. So let's go check that out. I don't know where he went to.
So this camera, it's a FLIR camera, and what FLIR means is forward-looking infrared. It's basically binoculars on steroids, I would say. So when we're looking for bodies in a situation like this, so I'm basically looking out for like dots, essentially. So if they're walking through the desert, I'll be able to see, like, okay, that looks like a body, and then I'll zoom in and I'll be able to confirm that it's a person. I can see their body, and then also their head. Since it's not covered in clothing, it's gonna show up a little bit better than the rest of them. And then once I spot the group or the bodies, I'll call the guys, and then since this is our area, we know it really well, I'll guide them in to where the group or the bodies are.
Yeah.
This is how the Border Patrol has an advantage at night compared to, the individuals who are trying to avoid detection using tools like this FLIR or the MSC, and then buddied up with their partners that are boots on ground and being able to walk them in and kind of just assist. We are currently probably about, 1,000 yards maybe from the original bailout location, and he's scanning currently everything from below on this angle. So there's, like we said, there's 3 outstanding individuals from the bailout, or 3 that we assume, right? So when they were interviewing the other individuals who were already apprehended, there was kind of a discrepancy on the numbers, and so very common to kind of lie about how many people they're actually transporting or not. But in this case, in this scenario, there's a chance that they eventually just call 911 because they're out of water, they're exhausted, they're tired, they just give up. There's a chance that they're hiding and just waiting for this to kind of go away, and then they'll continue to walk on foot in a direction of travel that they might know is the right direction. Or if they have a cell phone, they could potentially call the smuggling organization or someone that they have contact with in the USA to come pick them up as well. And so there's different variables that can happen, and we're hoping the best case scenario is that we're able to identify them somewhere in this brush and apprehend them. So we're going to let these agents get back to work, get out of their hair, and we're going to go to a different area of operations in the Ajo sector. This time we're going to go a little deeper in, and something that takes a lot of hours for them to get to, and so we'll go show you what it looks like down there.
Probably another 10.
We're here at forward operating base boundary. It was about 2 hours from Ajo Station. This is where we're going to bed down for the night, and then tomorrow we're going to go out in the field and see what we get.
In 1924, the United States entrusted us with a mission bigger than we had ever encountered: safeguard the borders of this great nation. Over the last 100 years, as the country grew and the world evolved, so did we. We've safeguarded the American homeland, at and beyond our borders, with cutting-edge technology and tools, defending against threats once thought undetectable. We work tirelessly, night and day, from land, sky, and sea, to steadfastly enforce the laws and protect the people of the United States. And while much has changed over the past century, our commitment, determination, and mission has not, and it never will. Because we are the United States Border Patrol. Join our mission and write your own history.
What's the original reason on why they even put an outpost here?
So, the Devil's Highway story is actually a great representation of why.
What's that story?
So the story is, there was a human smuggler from just south of the border here who brought a group across just a few miles west of here, and I believe there were 19 in the group to begin with, and they were given very poor directions on what to bring and how long they would be walking and how hot it is here, and ultimately 16 of them passed away during their journey north, and that just is a really good representation of when something happens out here, agents are so far away if they only deployed from the station. So the forward operating bases are a really effective way for us to get our manpower where it needs to be to help people out and perform the mission of the Border Patrol.
So we're gonna be heading off right now to go try and look for these humanitarian aid packages. It's common in these areas. There's humanitarian aid personnel, could be churches, could be NGOs that come out and leave water and supplies in desolate areas like this in their efforts to support. It's not supporting illegal immigration per se, but is hoping to help and aid these individuals who take the risk of trying to attempt to come to America. This is a very challenging terrain with harsh conditions and weather, and people do lose their lives attempting to come into America through these routes. And just recently in this sector, in this month, there's been 3 lives lost due to the weather conditions, right? So dehydration or exhaustion. Just this month, the Ajo sector's lost 3 due to conditions. Dehydration, trying to trek these mountains during this kind of heat. The environment, sometimes they don't drink enough water, they don't bring enough water. And so these humanitarian organizations created these drop points strategically throughout the border. So we're gonna walk in about a half mile, and to show you what one of those look like.
We've got 3 really venomous snake species around here. One is the western diamondback. Almost everybody knows about that one. The western diamondback carries a single toxin type. I can't remember if it's a hemotoxin or a neurotoxin, but the other 2 species are the sidewinder, which has both toxins, both neuro and hemotoxin, and the green Mojave has both as well.
But it's definitely a fear out here.
Yes.
I think the weather we have right now feels like good for snake weather. Jesus. Temperature today is around 105. Small breeze right now, but it's hot. And this is like typical Arizona hot, dry heat, not like the humidity we have in some of the Texas areas. walking, I'd say just under a mile to get here. The terrain's been crazy. Personally, extremely impressed with anyone who even gets to this point. But the agent up ahead, about 20 meters, says he found a little cache, so we'll go check it out. Thanks, brother. Here you go. Little cache. We won't mess with it too much, just to show you. Supplies, water supplies.
Go leave them up.
What's in the buckets normally?
Usually food.
Food?
There's notes in there.
I'm like scared there's a fucking snake. There you go. Some socks. Some socks, snacks. Just to aid them in their journey. When you're walking this kind of distance, your feet get pretty jacked up. So same thing we do in the military. Change a pair, get a pair of socks on, feel better. So. Just around here, see some fruit cups, see some empty jugs, probably from a group that was here a week, maybe 2 weeks, a month, you never know. Probably also just a stopping point in general for them to just kind of rehash food, drink water, get their gear back up and running.
Anything move?
For the shadow, it looks like a body. That's what they normally look like.
So these, how many is there, Bill? 70 what?
78 or 79 right now.
There's 78 or 79 of these openings, these passages, and they open them throughout the monsoon season because the flow of water will carry all the brush to the fence, and it'd be so heavy of the brush that it'll actually knock down these walls. So that actually means that during these seasons as well, it's easier means of travel. And so there was some foot sign earlier that was good for traffic that they called 911. They just kind of came across and called 911. But this is, routes of travel during the monsoon season. There's a rope at the top. Sometimes if they can't go through it, they'll go over it. And it looks like that rope ties up right there. And then we're making their way down. Might be able, I'm gonna push through here real quick. You see that? I'm not sure where the rest of that is. But what's also common is this, is finding the steel that's been cut. There's areas you'll find throughout the Ajo sector when these gates aren't open that the smuggling organizations, they use power saws and they'll cut through these, and all they do is lean it forward and they let a group through. Yeah, in Ajo sector, because it's so prevalent of them cutting the fences, there's an actual team that just inspects the fence and a welding team that comes and fixes it every day. Every day they'll come out and fix all the anomalies, all the issues, and by the night they're already sawing new holes, new areas. And this is one of the taller fences as well. as we were, so we saw bodies up ahead. We're gonna go check it out. You got a good sign? So as we're driving by, we're about to head to the POE. The agent, while driving, mind you, at like 15 miles an hour, was able to identify a sign in the wash here. We jumped over to this side where it originated from. If you come with me, this is one of those gates that's open. You can see some footprints that are coming in this direction. And so they're gonna check and see how recent it is, if it's new or if it's been called in already by another agent. If it hasn't, well then this is where the work starts.
So what we're looking at here is potentially footprints and sign for people that have crossed illegally. And if you look right here, you can see that there's almost the shape of a shoe. The real giveaway is what we call a toe dig. You see right here, where as you would step forward normally, the weight shifts towards your toe and it creates a little toe dig. And if you look at the color difference, I don't know if the camera will show it, but the toe dig that I just left is a little bit darker than this toe dig, which tells you this toe dig has been exposed to the sun for a little while longer. Depending on the difference, it can be easy to tell how far apart they are, or in this case, it's not very much darker. The one that I just left is not very much darker, so it's hard to tell. What do you think?
There's somebody walking right there. It's definitely after the rain, so
Yeah.
we just jumped two deer out here.
Yeah, there's fresh deer sign on top.
Yeah, the deer were right here. Jumped them out.
Is it worth running a cut up north?
I'm gonna look right over here. I don't think they went this way. I think they went around.
A moment like this, the agents kind of work together, spread out, trying to see where they can lead the sign to go somewhere else. Yeah, we say I find it. I'll say, yeah, I found it right here. Usually an agent will understand the line of travel that's common in this AO. They'll jump ahead. We kind of leapfrog each other until we can get ahead of the traffic. All right, so there's several different radio calls right now. There's a group up ahead that the agents are going to be apprehending their give-ups. But then now, as we're approaching to try and document that, another call came in for a few more. And so we're going to actually go around this hill and catch them on the outside of this. And again, these are give-ups, which is different from what we were approaching earlier. We were looking for individuals trying to evade detection. Those are very challenging. It's the type of work that I remember doing as an agent. Recent history, there's a lot more give-ups we're coming across, and most likely they're going to be claiming asylum. So they're just going to come up to an agent and just give up, and they get taken to the station and taken care of, and then documented and processed in that fashion. The other ones are the ones that we really have to pay attention to, the ones who are trying to evade detection. That is one of those ideas of like, well, why? Who are they? What are they trying to do in this country? And why are they trying to, try and hide from us? And so, two different styles of work. Right now, like I said, we're going to go pick up a few that are just giving up. So this is the give up. He's walking to us. There was supposed to be two discrepancy on the call. We'll figure out what that is in a little bit, but the agent's going to go up to him and in a posture of like, they already given up. There's no threat here at the moment. And they'll just interview them and they'll get them transported.
Buenas. Buenas, ¿dónde eres?
Colombiano.
Colombiano. ¿Tienes algún documento que te permanezca estar en los Estados Unidos legalmente?
No, señor.
No, estás ilegalmente presente en los Estados Unidos.
Ilegal.
Estás ilegalmente presente. Ok, perfecto. Mira, quítate la mochila. Agua fría. ¿Vienes solo?
Solo.
Solo, ok. ¿Estás lastimado? ¿Necesitas atención médica? Nada por el estilo. Tómale, toma el agua, está bien. ¿Padeces de alguna enfermedad? ¿No? ¿No tienes ninguna condición médica, algo que necesites médico? Perfecto, perfecto. Despacio, despacio. ¿Sí? ¿Cuánto tiempo llevas caminando?
Una hora.
¿Una hora? Ok.
Aproximada.
¿Qué tan lejos de aquí de la montaña cruzaste? ¿Cuántos
Bastante.
kilómetros?
Que unos 2.
2 kilómetros de la montaña, ok. ¿Cómo cruzaste? ¿Brincaste?
No, señor. Es un orificio.
No. ¿Bueno, ¿está abierto o,
Abierto.
o estaba cortado?
Está abierto.
¿Estaba abierta la puerta? Sí, ok. Está bien. Tómale agua. ¿Ya? ¿Tienes identificación? Sí, sácala. Ahí está bien, tómatela de esa. Ahí tengo más si quieres.
Aquí para refrescar esta otra.
¿Ya? Ok. Mira, sácame todo lo que tienes en los bolsillos. También te lo tomo ahorita. Esto, ¿no? Ok. El cinturón y las agujetas, las cordones, quítate. Sácalo. Ahí ponlo en el suelo. Ahí ponlo todo en el suelo.
Todo.
Sí, todo. El dinero, quédate en la mano, en la mano. Nada más el puro billetes. No, eso no necesito. En el suelo ahí. Ok. Quítate el cinturón. Ahí ponlo. Y las agujetas, los cordones, las reas. Agarra el dinero es tuyo.
Colombiano.
Está bien. Llena los bolsillos, voltea. Pon las manos en la nuca. Ahí déjalas. Voltea. No traes cadena, cadenillo, escapulario, nada. Ok, el dinero ponlo en tu bolsillo. ¿Dónde ibas?
So the Border Patrol agents are doing their normal kind of investigation and interview of the individual. He determined right away, are you here illegally? He says yes. Okay, so right away we already know we're going to be apprehending him, bringing him in for processing. What he determines at that time when processing is going to be on him. He's probably going to seek asylum, like I said earlier. He determined he's from Colombia. He's determined that it took him an hour. He's been walking since he got to the border. They're going to be taking off anything that could be potentially used to harm himself or an agent. Things like the belt, the cinturón, right? Taking off the belt, put it to the side, taking off the shoelaces, put them to the side. They do that like in any kind of anyone in apprehension, so they don't maybe use it to hang themselves if they're feel any kind of type of way. His money hasn't put it in his own pocket. Keep it secure. It's his money. No one's ever going to take it. Sometimes they fear that we as Border Patrol agents would be taking it from them, or a Border Patrol agent would be. They're going to go through some of their personal items. Some of the stuff they're going to discard and have them throw away because there's no need for it. Now they're in our custody. We'll be able to give them things like toothbrushes and just all the basics. Goes through their clothes, and eventually they're going to have to document that that's their clothes. They'll put it in holding. When they get picked up from ICE, their personal items will go with them.
Ángeles.
What are those used for, the addresses? I'm asking you directly.
Me?
Yes.
This is the address of where they're going.
Okay.
And whenever we give them their paperwork, their notice to appear, they need an address of the sponsor's address of where they're going, and they all know this. So
You
they all...
ask them who is the sponsor?
¿Quién te va a recibir? ¿Quién es Lisette?
Una amiga.
¿Amiga?
Amiga.
¿Y Emiliano?
Los dos son amigos.
¿Son amigos? ¿Parientes nada más?
No, de todo un tiempo.
Oh, está bien. Mira, esto, mételo ahí en tu pasaporte, lo van a hacer al rato.
Can you ask her how he knows it?
¿Cómo la conoces? A la muchacha esa.
De mi tierra, paisano de mi nación, realidad y mi pueblo.
Just from the neighborhood.
From the neighborhood.
Does she help make arrangements or anything?
¿Ella te ayudó a hacer arreglos para llegar?
No, me entusiasmé porque es que allá en Colombia muy duro económico y mucha guerra, guerrerista. Yo fui militar y me la mataron por 2 hijos.
¿A qué te dedicabas?
Yo soy transportador y la finca.
¿La finca?
Campo.
Oh, el campo.
How many days of travel from the beginning from his home till here?
¿Cuánto tiempo llevas caminando en el rumbo de tu país, de Colombia aquí?
Viernes.
¿El viernes pasado? Vale. 5 días llevas?
19,
¿Cómo
sí.
llegaste hasta aquí?
Tomé un avión
¿Avión hasta dónde?
hasta Cancún.
Cancún, a México. Y luego de ahí,
Y de ahí,
How much did the whole cost?
¿cuánto te costó? Todo el viaje.
todo el viaje acá me va costando un promedio 5 millones.
$5,000 todo el viaje.
5 millones de pesos colombianos.
5 millones de pesos colombianos. ¿Cuánto es en dólar?
1.500.
$1,500 más o menos.
300.
$1,500. The flight.
Oh, the flight.
The flight, yeah. Y luego del avión, ¿cómo llegaste hasta aquí?
¿A dónde?
De Cancún hasta la frontera.
Terrestre, bus.
¿Autobuses? ¿Y eso cuánto te salió?
Todo por 5 millones.
Oh, todo
Ya,
eso,
acá,
todo.
ya,
Con el viaje, el
todo,
vuelo y
todo.
todo. Ok, good.
Cool.
Sube.
Well, that's a wrap here in Ajo. In the past few days, we were able to witness a bailout, as well as we were able to show you the forward operating base and how agents go to work in such a massive terrain. This area is challenging, miles and miles of open land. And while we were over there at the forward operating base, here closer to town, there were several other incidents, from failure to yields to other bailouts. This area is heavy with traffic, and I'm just honored to be able to come out here and show you guys the work, and I wish I could have shown you more. But in 2 days, I think we showed you enough. Thank you for joining us at Edge of a Nation, and we'll see you next time.